Welcome, everyone. We're going to start now. My name is Leanne Abrahamson, and I am Customer Success Manager for Kahoot at Work. I am joined here today by Lars Banson, who is looking after the chat. So he's in charge of customer education. So for all your education needs, he is the go-to person. So if you have any questions around that, feel free to post them in the chat. Today's session will be recorded. So for those of you who want to come back and find anything that was super interesting today, you will be able to find that session sent to you tomorrow once the recording is ready. Yeah, so what I'm going to do today is I am going to introduce you to hosting a Kahoot. We're also going to play a Kahoot. We're going to stop a little bit so I can show you how to create a Kahoot. Then we're going to play for points so I can satisfy those of you that have more of a competitive spirit within you today. And then we will finish up with some other resources that you can find to help you get started. So this is a basic webinar where we're going to cover the basics. We will have other opportunities for you to get more advanced learning from Kahoot later. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen with you. So you can, get an idea of how to get started with Kahoot. And of course, I'm going to share sound and optimize for video sharing while I'm at that. So here we go. Okay. So here we are in my screen. Lars, can you confirm that you can see everything? Okay, fantastic. So generally speaking, when I'm doing a webinar, I wouldn't have all my bookmarks available. So I would, definitely get rid of that. Hide the bookmarks bar. You don't need to see that. What you can see is that I'm in my team space at Kahoot. And what I want to show you here is in my team space, how to host a Kahoot. So the Kahoot I'm going to use today is a Kahoot from our webinar series. So I have a very nice selection of webinars saved in my team folder in the team space. And this particular Kahoot is the August 101 bite-sized edition. We want to try and keep it short and sweet today. So without further ado, I'm going to press the host live button. So before I start, there are a few options open to me, namely, what sort of mode do I want to play? Because I would like participation from all of you today, individually, I'm going to choose classic mode. If you wanted to have contributions from teams or compete in that way, of course, you can choose team mode. And I would also encourage you to investigate the other modes that we have that are a lot of fun. So before I start, I'm going to check my settings. And whatever I do here now will be saved for the next game. So to make sure all of you can participate in this Kahoot, I'm going to show questions and answers. So regardless of the screen you're looking at, how visible this Kahoot is to you, it's always good to have it available on your device. Player identifier, so we can know the person behind the nickname. I'm going to turn that on. And the theme today is summer. Feeling optimistic. In Copenhagen, it's pretty warm, so that's a nice change. We're not in autumn yet, or fall, as you would call it in the US. And all the other settings I'm going to leave as a default. We've also added a new accessibility feature here to increase the contrast for some people that might not be able to read the screen so well. I'm going to keep the characters on because they're cute and they're fun. Of course, for you business users out there, you can switch that off if you want more serious Kahoots. But today, this is a webinar. We like to keep it lighthearted, so we're going to have it fun today. And then, I'm going to keep everything as it is. I'm going to start the game and put it in full screen. So to help you get ready to join, what I recommend is that you scan the large QR code, which I'm going to put here. So use your device to enter the game. The game pin, well, you could enter in if you're joining from the Kahoot app, for example. You can also join from kahoot.it, if you like, as well. And don't worry, the first part of the Kahoot, we're not going to play for points. So if you're you're joining a little bit later, it's going to be just fine. So this is a pro tip from our event specialist to always start the game with questions with no points to give everyone a chance to participate. We're all about being inclusive here at Kahoot. Very important. Yep. So yeah, again, if you need the game pin, it will be available at the bottom of the screen throughout the game. And I'm not going to lock it because I want to give people that join a little bit later the chance to join the game. And of course, if I want, I can go back and change my settings again. I can't change all of them, but I might choose to volume a little bit. Very nice cafe music here. So there are 10 people. I think we can start. You ready, Lars? You feeling competitive? Or you're going to have to wait for the points then. So here we go. Let's begin. Okay, summer theme, Kahoot. This is the August bite-size edition. Still feeling a bit summery. So it's more than just a quiz. I know some of you out there might think, oh, Kahoot's a quiz. Well, actually, for those of you that don't know, Kahoot is the leader in gamified learning in the workplace. So the idea is that we want to make learning awesome, make training, presentations, meetings, and events very engaging, both remotely or in person. So we want everyone to have the potential or the ability to unlock their full learning potential. Just to let you into a fun fact, I also have Kahoot on my phone. I have the app, so I know which question is coming next. So for those of you who may be nervous hosts that don't remember what was in your Kahoot, that's a pro tip for you. So it's always good to prepare if you're going to host a Kahoot and know what's coming next for your confidence. So what are we going to cover today? Well, this is all about discovering the basics of using Kahoot at work. So what you're doing right now is experiencing training through a live Kahoot. What we'll also show you is what you need to do in the platform, how to create a Kahoot. So I'm going to show you how to create a mini Kahoot. I've also demonstrated how to start as a host. I'll also show you how to assign self-paced Kahoots as well. So I'll use the mini Kahoot to show you how to do that. So for those of you who want to see how it works in a non-live setting, you'll get the opportunity to do that. And hopefully you'll have a bit of fun today. So get your phones ready. We are super curious. Where are you joining from today? So this next question type, you're going to need to move the image around the phone and drop the pin. So what country are you joining from? So it'll be interesting to see. It's 4 p.m. here in Copenhagen. That will have many people joining from Asia, but I would imagine probably quite a few from the Americas. Let's see. Oh, there were a couple from Europe. Okay, but mostly from the Americas. So good morning. Yeah, welcome. So nice to see. Well, we haven't quite covered the length of the continent, but it's pretty good. So lovely to see good representation there from, I believe is that Brazil, Lars? Yeah, it's kind of covered on the map, so that's cool. Alrighty, so what I want to know is how well do you know Kahoot? So that's our next question coming up. So this is a poll type question. It's to get opinions from you, to give all of you a voice. So there are 10 of you joining today. Imagine if I were going to have all of you shout out how well you knew Kahoot. Well, I kind of prefer this way. It gives me a good overview. So, fantastic. And that was quick. That's quite a breakdown. So a few of you, 3 of you have played it, created, hosted, and you love it. So that's great to have some power users with us today. And for those of you that only know the name, it's lovely to see that you are curious and you want to learn more about Kahoot. So you're very, very welcome. And for those of you that have played Kahoot, hopefully I'll get you to create a Kahoot and host it. And those of you know pretty well, great. Hopefully you learned something today, or at least learn where to go and find more advanced features that you can play around with. And if there are any questions, as I said, Lars is looking after the chat. He's in charge of our customer education team. So yeah, if there's anything, I'm pretty sure he can answer it for you in the chat. So we want to know a little bit more about you. This is a Kahoot at Work webinar. So what we want to know is what department you work in. So this next question type is what we call word cloud. So you type in the word and then you highlight the word. So nothing, not too much. Try to keep it short and sweet. So you work in sales, you work in human resources, front of house, back of house, the IT department. There are 11 of you here today. I wonder will we get 11 departments? Let's see. Just a few more seconds. 10 departments. 10 seconds. Okay, human resources. Somebody from customer success. Well, hello, fellow customer success person. Yeah. It's quite a new title. So there are not that many of us yet, but that's great. Enablement. I love that. Enablement is very much a key word in our job as well. Cyber, engagement, research, project management, and sales. There's quite a mix of departments here. So I love to see that mix. And a great welcome. So the next question, oh, I put this in a bit too soon. How likely would you recommend a webinar to a colleague? So fun fact, I did kind of create this with Lars maybe a few minutes before. It was a bit soon, but you know, why not? Should we do it? We could skip it. I think I'll skip that question. Okay, I'm going to skip this, which you can do as a host. It's not relevant. So let's move on from that. Okay, so put down your phones. The next part is obviously getting to the nitty-gritty. Let's have a look and see what we've got inside the platform under the hood and how you create a Kahoot. So we are going to create a mini Kahoot today and show you how to assign it. I've already covered the hosting bit. So don't leave the game just yet. I'm going to exit full screen. And I'm going to go back into my Kahoot space. And here I am. So to get started, to make a Kahoot, go to the Create button on the top right-hand side. I'm just going to start with a Kahoot, nothing more than that. And obviously you have some options here available to you. So I have the Kahoot 360 Spirit Premium plan. I know some of you will have different plans out there. So some of the things we're looking at will be slightly different. But for the most part, for most business users, these will be the options available to you. We now have the opportunity as well to integrate with Google Slides. So this is a new release. I'm not going to cover that today, but it's very exciting for us to be able to do that. What we're going to look at now is the blank canvas. We are going to do it from scratch so I can show you just how easy it is to create a Kahoot. So what I recommend is that you give your Kahoot a title. So Lars really liked the name Mini Kahoot. So I'm going to say Mini Kahoot and make sure this isn't too small for you. Can you see better? Brilliant. Okay. Description, Mini. I'm going to save it to team folders. The reason for that is I like to collaborate with other people on my team and share my content. So I want to make it available to them. If I want, I could put a lobby video in there from YouTube, or I can choose from any one of these fantastic Kahoot lobby music files here. If you want to have a preview of that, of course, you can listen. You're more into fantasy, adventure, you get the opportunity now to check that out. Quite like that one. Okay, visibility, that really depends. I choose to have it available to everybody in the organization, so I'm going to leave it as is. If it's unlisted, it's only accessible by direct link. But these are all settings that you can decide upon when you create your Kahoot. And of course, if you want, you can add a cover image to that. We have a fantastic library of free resources that you can use, or you can upload your own media. So for today, it's a mini Kahoot. Let's see what comes up if I put in mini. I wonder, will it be the car? No, but quite close. So there we go. That's quite a small car. I love it. So let's start. So we can add a slide. and you have lots of different formats of slides already built into the platform. You could even import your own slide if you like. And of course, we have a lot of media that you can then use. Kahoot. I'm just going to put it in here. In GIFs, there we go. I can move it around like Lego because I want that to be my first part of the Kahoot. Then I'm going to put in a question. Perhaps Kahoot is more than quiz. Make that true or false. So as you can see, there are different question types available on this plan. You have two types of questions available to you. You can either test knowledge. You can choose whether or not to assign points for that. I'm going to choose to assign standard points for this. You can set a time limit for that, depending on how difficult the question is, how big your audience is. So it's entirely up to you how you want to set up your questions. And of course, Kahoot is more than just a quiz. True. Yeah, I'm not going to include any media in this one. I'm just going to leave it as it is. Another question could be, Lars, have you any suggestions for a nice quiz question?
Like the one we had, where you're from, or
yeah. Where are you from? Then I'll turn that into a non-points question. Poll or word cloud even is better. And you can just type it in. And as you can see here, you get an explanation of the question type as well. So for this particular question type, players can type up to 20 characters and it'll be visualized as a word cloud on the big screen, just like it was when you told us what department you worked in. And then the last one, add a slide, big media. Thank you for joining. There we go. And that's the mini Kahoot. So of course, if I want, I can add different themes to that and I can customize it. So for example, we have a lot of themes available pre-made that you can choose from that ranges from sports to professional to festive, whatever you like. We've got quite a lot of them covered. I'm going to choose the summer theme that I had today. What I do recommend is, of course, that you preview your Kahoot before you host it, just to check for any spelling mistakes. How does that appear? And of course, you can toggle through the questions and what that will appear like. If you're happy with that, then you can save your Kahoot. So what do I want to do now? Well, I want to show you how to assign it. We've already covered the hosting live part. So to assign a Kahoot, then you are given the option to then assign it to participants. You can create a deadline for that if you want to, or you can leave it open. The visibility is to everybody. If you want anybody to be able to complete this assignment, and of course, it's up to you whether you want question timer on, player identifier. The nice thing about this is that you get a good explanation of all of these settings within the tool. So it's really up to you how you want to assign that Kahoot. I'm simply going to click create, and then I get options that tell me how to share this Kahoot. So I can invite players by email. I can download a QR code. I can print it out, put it in, I don't know, the office, wherever I like, you know, use your imagination. You could have a scavenger hunt. There are many things you can do with QR codes, or I could simply copy the URL and post it in the chat. So let's see. And then you can access that Kahoot. So that's the mini Kahoot if anybody wants to play it for a little bit of fun. Also within the team space, I feel like it's very important to show you that we have help available to you in here. So down on the bottom left-hand side, you will find suggested articles based on what's been popular in terms of searches today. You can also go to the Help and Support Center and suggest a feature. So within the platform, there are places you can find help. You can also find ready-made content within our Discover section. Two sections that I personally like very, very much are Kahoot free resources for professionals. So lots of ready-made templates in there. And also Matt Abraham's The Master of the Art of Communication. There's a lot of content in there for anybody in the at work segment. So I recommend you check that out as well if you're looking for a bit of inspiration. So we're going to go back to the Kahoot now. So for those of you feeling competitive, you're going to have the chance to play for points. Okay, so here we go. All right, so just remember what I showed you. You can assign self-paced Kahoots. Some examples or use cases for that are feedback and surveys before and after events and training sessions. You can do knowledge reinforcement and checks by sending it out to your training cohort afterwards. And as well, you can give everyone the chance to share their ideas in their own time with a Kahoot brainstorm. So there are many ways that you can use a self-paced Kahoot. Okay, so it's time to play for points. Get ready for those of you feeling competitive. So place your pin. Where can you find help in the platform? So it's very much like the pin answer question that you had before, where you were looking for the country. So, yeah, so move the image around on your device. It's a little bit small, probably towards the bottom of the screen. So if you're paying attention, you should find it okay. But I have Lars testing it out here. We like to test the Kahoot. So I'll get his feedback of whether or not that was easy to do. But I see that it's taking a while for people to get that answer. So yeah. It's very tense music. But for those of you who got it right and were quick, you'll get the most points. So yeah, that's how the point system works. It's speed and accuracy wins the game. So here we go. Amazing. Most of you got it right. A couple of outliers there, but maybe that was just because the image didn't move around so easily. So well done to the 10 of you that got it right. Okay, so there's another points question coming up, but let's have a look at the scoreboard. So Glowing Iguana, well done for being first to get that right. Yeah, but everything can change with the leaderboard. I could throw a double points question in there, who knows? So let's see. Okay, so this is really going to test your mettle. So true or false? Kahoot is more than just a quiz. This is a very hard one. I hope I allowed enough time. So true or false questions are probably the most popular question type for kind of fast fire rounds where, yeah, people are feeling very competitive. As you can see, you're all been pretty quick at responding to that one. So yeah, I would like to think that the answer is yes. Some people would, would not agree with that. But well done to those of you that agree with me that it is indeed more than just a quiz. And that is true. So what does the leaderboard look like? Well, Glowing Iguana still in the lead. There's no change there. Majestic Sable is just right behind you. Okay, so the next question is about Kahoot assignments. So what can you use Kahoot assignments for? And this is a multiple choice answer or multi-select answer, beg your pardon. Do you get a more than one answer to this? And of course, the more you get right, the more points you get. And the quicker you are, the more points you get. So you can use it for surveys, you can use it for feedback, post-training, knowledge reinforcement, and brainstorming. So yeah, for all of these things, to name a few, this was really put in there just to give you some inspiration on how to use Kahoot assignments. So yes, for all of those things. And I, suggest to those of you that want to try it out, go right ahead and give it a go. Okay, so the next question is a quiz question. So did any of you notice where you could find templates for work? This is multi-select. So if you were paying attention when I went into the demo part of the platform, were you able to find templates in the channel called Kahoot at Work? When you click and create, can you find templates in the help center, or you're not sure? Because we have a lot of ready-made templates for you to use in the platform. We want to make it easy for you to get started, not just to try to create everything from scratch. So of course, yes, you can find it in the Discover section called Kahoot at Work. And also Matt Abrahams has a lot of good content on there as well. And when you click create in the, there's a template section in there. And fun fact, if you happen to be joining the platform or using the platform in another language, then the templates within the create section will also change with you. So if you like having your platform in French, you'll find templates in French or in Danish, Lars, just in case you didn't know. All right, so moving on from that. So time to play for more points. Pony Esperto, well done. So catching up there very quickly, and Glowing Iguana and Gatito Tropical as well. So yeah, and Combo Breaker is on an answer streak of 3. So yes, more points. So slider question. I'm going to skip this one. Yeah. Okay. Yes, that one should have been removed from the Kahoot. My bad. Yeah, I'm human. I'm sorry about that. But the next question is no points. So how will you use Kahoot at work? This is a poll question. This is also to provide you with some inspiration in case you're probably just using it for knowledge check. You can indeed now use it for presentations and meetings, and in all of our business plan, you now have access to the Google Slides integration. So super exciting that it literally just got launched a couple of days ago. So I advise you to check that out. You can also use Kahoot for product sales and support training. I noticed somebody joined from sales department today. Engagement was another word that came up on our word cloud. So yes, you can use it for that too. Team communication and team building. Mandatory training, Kahoot gets used a lot for that. And of course, onboarding and upskilling. We use Kahoot for onboarding here. We also have to do a selfie Kahoot when we join. Many ways that you can use Kahoot work. Again, hopefully this provides some inspiration to you. Yep. I think all of the answers in, so I'm just going to skip to the end of this and let's see. So for the most part, presentations and meetings come up. So you might just want to check out that Google integration that we have now with the slides, and PowerPoint is coming soon too, for those of you that prefer to use Microsoft PowerPoint. Yes, a good mix. It's nice to see team communication and culture is up there as well. Mandatory training. So it's good to see that there are many different ways to use Kahoot at work. What I also want to show you today is something new that we have created, and Lars will post details about this in the chat. But we have a fantastic section now available to you if you want to get more into getting started at work. And that's, I recommend that you bookmark this page. So the URL will be shared in the chat. There's lots of good resources in there. There's a small course where you can complete getting started with Kahoot in just 10 minutes. You can join another webinar if you want. We're going to change up the webinar series a little bit. You can watch quick guide videos. We have lots of those, reader help articles, ask a community, or start with pre-made templates. So all of these are fantastic resources to get you started. And for those of you out there who are owners of an account, we also have a special training path for you there. Okay, so now the moment you've been waiting for. So how do we get on with the Kahoot today? Yes, it is the podium time. So in third place is Gatito Tropical. In second place, we have Glowing Iguana. And in first place, it is, wait for it, Pony Esperto. Well done. Yes, and the runners up, I can't really see because of the Zoom bar. There we go, Melody and Aquachi, I think it is. So while you're here, don't leave. There's something else I want to show you. I want to get feedback from you guys in real time and show it on the screen. So if you're still here, you can give us a rating at the end of the game, which is super cool for hosts out there to find out how their presentation went. Fully green, I would say that's pretty good. And you're feeling energized, which is fantastic. A lot of you are joining from the other side of the world first thing in the morning, and somebody is a bit neutral, but that's okay. As you can see, I'm getting feedback in real time. So thank you so much for joining us today. The session, as I said, is recorded. So you signed up for this, you'll get an email tomorrow to let you know when the recording is available, if there's anything you want to revisit. And definitely take away some of those URLs from the chat. Yeah, I would say we are just about finished for today. So thank you so much, everybody. And we'll see you soon, hopefully at our more advanced webinar. So thank you so much.